and gents, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the whole Inheritance series. I currently do not have the books in my possession right now, but I'm going to put a little picture of the 3 books I'm going to be doing a review on, and let's just get right into this video. So firstly speaking about the first book, that is called The Inheritance Game. It follows the story of a young teen, well actually an old teen. She's 17 years old and her name is Avery Kylie Grams. She has a little bit of financial problems. She's still in school, but she lives with her sister, her older sister, which her name is Libby, and the dad of the sister. And they will, let's just say that Avery and Ricky, which is the dad's name, they don't have the best relationship, and you're going to see that throughout the book as well. Basically, one day she gets called for a reading of a will from a dude that is called Tobias Hawthorne. She doesn't even know the dude, but she still goes because she's like, you know what, why not? Let's just go see this will. And I know I'm not going to inherit anything, but still, we're just gonna go see how this goes. She goes to the reading of the will and she finds out that she basically has the whole entire inheritance from a guy she doesn't even know. Like, when I was reading it, I was expecting it, but like, because you read the back of the page, but then you're like, how did that even happen? So the family of the guy who just died, they're just like, how did I get $1 and she gets $42.6 billion? I mean, that doesn't work like that. And it's just so bizarre that they're going to try to figure it out. But wait, there's a catch. For her to inherit all that money, she has to live in the house of the family for a year. Well, technically it's her house now, because she basically, not only did she inherit 42.6 billion, she also inherited all of the buildings that he had. Of course, that's just like, that's so fair. She has to live in this house for a year while people are going to maybe try to kill her, or maybe try to figure out how and who is this girl and how did she even inherit all of that money without even knowing the guy. So that's gonna happen throughout the book, and throughout the book you're just gonna see a bunch of riddles, and it's gonna be traps upon traps, riddles upon riddles, and I really enjoyed reading it. So in this book you're also going to meet 4 characters. You're gonna have a lot of characters in this book, but the most present in the book is going to be the 4 Hawthorne brothers. And the first guy is Nash Hawthorne, then it's Grayson Hawthorne, Jameson Hawthorne, and Xander Hawthorne. Well, okay, there's going to be a love triangle as well that you're going to see throughout the book. It's going to be between Avery, Grayson, and Jameson. Grayson's the oldest, then it's Jameson, then it's Avery. I don't know why I added that. It just seemed like a fun thing to add. Yeah, that's going to be a love triangle. But basically, you're going to see a lot of characters like Zara. She's like, I don't know. It was kind of confusing for me. Since there were so many characters, I was kind of like, who is she and who is he and who is this? Oh wow, I was really confused while reading. Like, I was so confused because there was so many characters. Anyway, I really enjoyed reading that book, and I think I gave it like maybe like a 4.5. It was so good. I think something they could have definitely worked with was the characters, and more like, well, less actually, because there were so many characters that we met that are going to be important in like in the next books, which I understand, but like in the first book there were so many characters that we didn't see do anything in that book. It wasn't until maybe the 3rd or the 2nd book. It wasn't after the 3rd or the 2nd book that we saw them do something actually effective, I guess. But you know, it was still fun to read. And yeah, so I give it a 4.5. So the 2nd book is basically just a continuation of the first book. It's called The Hawthorne Legacy, and I absolutely ate it up. It was the best book from the series, in my opinion. It showed the development of relationships and friendships between others, and I think just because it's a continuation, I'm just going to talk more about the characters that we meet, because this book really shows each and every character and what's their part in the story. And I feel like, you know, when you read a story, you always see characters and they're always going to have a meaning. Every time you see a character, they're going to have a meaning in the book, and I feel like in this book we really saw the meaning and their effect in the story. Anyway, so you see Nash, and Nash is like the typical cowboy that you're going to like love from the countryside. He is the oldest brother. I believe he's like 20 or 21 years old. He actually, you're gonna not really see him that much because he's going to be in a relationship with another person in the story, which I'm not going to tell, or else it's gonna be spoiling. But you're gonna not see him that much. He's going to be more distant in all of this riddle and this big tragedy. Well, you're gonna see him a little bit, but not too much. Second oldest brother is named Grayson. Grayson is in the I believe he's like 19. Yeah, he's 19. And he's a typical emotional guy, and he is really hard on himself. He's hardworking, and I think we could call him morally gray. And I think that's why people love him much, because he is such a hard worker, and he's just like the example of someone you would like in a man, I guess. And yeah, I think people really like him also because we find him relatable with his emotions. Oh, by the way, he was supposed to be the heir apparent. So since he was born, oh my gosh, since he was born, since he was born, he was supposed to be the hero. He was expected to be the hero because we always thought he was the favorite, I guess. He was called the favorite by his brothers, by his family, from his mother even. When he realized that this money wasn't going to him, he felt kind of empty and he felt not enough. So that's why I think he was such in this riddle, and he was really in this like, why is she here? Why did he pick her instead of me? And I think also people find him relatable because you worked so hard and then you didn't even get it. It's like you tried, but like you didn't try enough. And I guess that's a feeling he was feeling when he wasn't called as the heir. And yeah. And also in this book, you're going to see Avery and Grayson build like a strong relationship. Avery's going to feel very guilty. She didn't know that Grayson was supposed to be it. But also, it's not Avery's fault. It's just, I don't know whose fault it is. It's just, I guess it's just how it is. So you're gonna see them build a relationship throughout the book, and they're going to have a lot of similarities and also a lot of differences that will build or break their friendship. The next Hawthorne brother, which is also in the love triangle, his name is Jameson, and I believe he's 18 years old. You will love him. I absolutely loved him. He was so funny, and I thought he was very the typical guy that you would fall in love with in a rom-com. He is like, how do I explain? He's like bubbly. I guess he's like a golden retriever almost, but like he's also like a very adventurous person. I guess I would really like that in a guy because I'm adventurous too. I would like to go everywhere and anywhere, whenever. I isn't scared for some type of adventure like this one that you're going to see in this book, because you are going to see a lot of moving and a lot of you're going to see a lot of stuff happening in this book, and you're going to see him a lot. I think it's probably the Hawthorne brother you're going to see the most in this book, along with another guy, but I'm going to talk about him later. So Jameson is the typical guy that you're going to see that is really all up in the riddle. He won't really care if he hurts anybody's feelings. He just wants to win, and he is really just a mystery. The first time you're going to meet him in the book is that he's going to be drunk, saying a riddle to himself. I think it had something to do if 3 minus 2 is, no, if 3 minus 1 is 2, how many sides does a triangle have? It had something to do with that. I'll put it on the screen. Anyway, he is himself a mystery. By the way, the answer is 2. I stopped myself. But it was really fun to see him and his character development throughout the book, because he did start a little bit like he did start off a little annoying because he was only thinking Avery as a game and not really thinking about her feelings inside. But throughout the book, you're going to see him kind of have some development, which I really loved for the author to do and for us to see that. The last Hawthorne brother is Xander. I love Xander. He was such a cutie, and he was such a I loved him. And I believe he's the youngest, by the way. He's 16, 17. Yeah, he's turning 17 in March, which already passed. I know my stuff. I know my stuff. He is a very brain working guy. He is very smart, but he's also Avery's best friend. I think in the second book we're going to see them call themselves like best friends after Grayson goes off to Harvard, something like that. I can't remember. It was like something like that. And Xander is really, really, really smart. Like he loves Jude Goldberg's like experiments, so he loves doing like machines with Jude Goldberg or something like that. And I think it's super fun. I like doing those too. He's also gonna have a relationship built in the third book, I believe, which we're not gonna talk too much about, and I'm not gonna say with who because that's a spoiler. But I really enjoyed him, just because I think he was there and he built a relationship with Avery the way that no one else could. Like while the other was alone, they could kind of like be each other's buddy. I don't know how to explain. I think you're gonna see a lot of Jameson and Xander because they're both very adventurous, and that's something that people will love about him as well. So basically, I'm going to give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was the best book, definitely. I think if they had to like get something better, it would probably be oh yeah, when Nash went. So remember, Nash is the oldest brother. He kind of went and we didn't see him that much throughout the book. In the second book, we did see him a little bit more. We saw him help in the riddles, and I wish we saw what he did because he did help, but we just didn't see it. So I wish we saw that, and not even just with Nash, with other characters too. But other than that, I really enjoyed reading the books. Now, lastly, for the last book, it's called The Final Gambit, and I think that's the end of the trilogy. I believe there's 2 more books, but really in my heart, I believe that the book really, well, the whole entire series really just ends here because it was such an ending, and I don't even understand how it could even continue because it was the ending. Basically, it's just a continuation. We're gonna dig up more dirt about this whole secret. We're going to really see Tobias Hawthorne's secret and another person. We're going to dig up more about this person too, and we're also going to see this person throughout the book. We're also going to meet a new character, which always we know that we love new characters, but mostly when we meet new characters, they're mostly evil. Well, evil. That sounds kind of bad, but like I mean like they're mostly like up to no good. I'm not gonna say who that person is, and I'm not gonna say if they're evil or not. They might be very good, they might be very bad. It's for you to find out. But I really enjoyed reading this series, and I really enjoyed reading the book. I think it could have used a little bit better of a plot because I think we only saw the plot throughout like the half end of the book. I guess when we saw the plot, I wasn't expecting it to be like that. I wish it was a little bit bigger instead of just a game. Like it was a game to just figure out. I don't know how to explain. Let me think. I kind of wish the ending was a little bit more. I kind of wish the plot was a little bit more like, instead of like. I hope that makes sense. The ending of the book was pretty wow, you know, but I didn't really care. I mean, I couldn't believe she did that, but you know, that's fine. That was her choice, and that's basically that. So for this book, I'm going to give it, I think maybe a 4 out of 5 stars. As you can tell, it is my lowest grade for the book yet. I don't know, I just didn't really appreciate as much as the other books. So yeah, I think if they could have maybe personalized something better, it would have been the plot. I liked it. It was fun throughout the book, but when I got to the plot, I was like a little bit less excited, and it was a little bit less enjoyable than the other books. In conclusion, what did I give the first book? I gave it a 4.5, then a plus 5. 4.5 plus 4 equals 8.5, then that plus 5 equals 13.5. 13.5 divided by 3 equals 4.5. So in conclusion, this book trilogy is going to have a 4.5 in rating. I think that's a really good rating, and I honestly would have given it maybe like a 4.6, but you know, 4.5 is still good. So 4.5 is great actually. I think for me as a 14-year-old, it was also very hard to understand the first book. It was not that long, but it was a little harder. I think it took me like maybe a week to finish it, when normally it takes me only 2 days. But you know, it was super fun and I really enjoyed reading the book, so that's basically it. I really think anybody who likes a little bit of mystery, a little bit of romance, and just that, it doesn't have that much romance in it. I think you're gonna see mostly more of the romance in the second book and the third book. The most romance is in the third book, which I mean, I didn't really care because like I wasn't really fixing my head on that, which is something I didn't like. I thought the romance should be more in the second or the third, the second or the first book, because the third book was so much bigger and so much stronger, and I think we should have just mostly focused on building the plot instead of building the romance. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I definitely enjoyed filming this video for you guys. It was super fun and I thought it was going to be even harder because I don't know, my dad really he didn't think I could do it because it was so many books, and 3 books in one video is a lot. But I actually enjoyed it because since it was in the same like trilogy and it was just a continuation, it's not always like a different plot each time, I think it was easier for me to do it. Anyway, I really enjoyed filming this video for you guys and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I will see you guys next month. Oh my gosh, let's do that again. Anyway guys, I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye sunshine.